I done did the whole show when they ain't hit the go live button. When you new to this broadcast thing, you new to this broadcast thing. We gonna run it back. DJ, drop that beat. From the dining room of my third floor apartment in Broward County, damn near in the Everglades, in these United States, we gotta get it! All the way at the bottom of the map, it's the Marleyminded podcast starring Young Goob the God. Tonight is a special edition. It is a Fit Life for Me edition of the Marleyminded podcast. And we are graced to have our illustrious guest, our fitness guru, your personal fitness guru, Young Goob the God. So sit back, relax. We still pouring a glass of Ray Nephew with a splash of ginger ale. It's Young Goob the God. Let's go. Ooh, Lord. Hey, yo, cast on the shirt, get it out the dirt. I'm Young Goob the God. Let me tell you, when you doing this thing, when you're old, when you dolo solo doing this thing, things happen. And it's happening again. First, I want to say thank you. You could be anywhere in the world, but you right here with us. If you were waiting, things happen. If you here now, welcome. You could be in the world, anywhere in the world, but you right here with us once again. This is Marleyminded Podcast. I am Young Goob the God. And this is a very special episode. Like you heard in the intro, this is a Fit Life for Me episode. We are talking fitness, health, and wellness in this episode. We are getting to my bag. I've already been in my bag once on this night, so this one might be a little bit shorter than the first time that we went through. We are going to be looking at some of the keys to success when it comes to developing your fitness, health, and wellness. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about myself and my participation in this industry or in this business or in this realm or in this lifestyle, however you want to look at it. I've been training, working out for probably about 35 years on purpose. 34 years on purpose. I give myself about third grade where we were having field day and I knew that I wanted to win the trophy. I knew that I wanted to win these events. And in order to do that, I had to put in work. I knew what my competition was like. I'm from Carver Ranches, once again. So since about third grade, I've intentionally been putting in work in an effort to develop myself. And as a result, I've become relatively familiar or very familiar, not even relatively. We're not going to be humble. Almost my second time through with this thing. We're not going to be humble at all. I am very familiar with the process of development when it comes to fitness, health, and wellness. And I'm able to educate people on that because of the background that I developed as I got older. Now, let's jump ahead some years. I got directly into the fitness industry because of an injury that I had. I was dealing with chronic back pain, a herniated disc in my low back that caused the worst episodes of pain. I mean, reaching my toothbrush to rinse it off dropped me to my knees one time. And I'm blinked over for like a week, like an 80-year-old person. You know what I'm saying? And prior to this, I could have jumped off your house and landed and felt fine. Or, you know what I'm saying? That's an exaggeration. I'm not jumping off houses. Never have. But you see what I'm saying? I was dealing with a physical injury that me being me, knew that I had to overcome. I could not let this thing be a situation that led me to live my life in a state of pain. You know what I'm saying? So there were certain things that I had to do. And so the first thing that I knew to do was to start to physically work on myself. And I knew I had to do it in a different manner because what I was doing seemed to be leading me down a path of having these problems. So I got into what we now know as CrossFit. CrossFit taught me a lot of things, gave me a lot of principles that allowed me to develop my own personal lifestyle, my own personal fitness lifestyle that gives me what I want out of the work that I put in. I am very thankful for the lessons and the knowledge that I was given and the time and the people who I interacted with in that realm and still interact with when it comes to that. It was what allowed many of these fitness professionals and many of us for fitness professionals to express our love and monetize it honestly and put people together in an effort to help them. So that's what this podcast is tonight. It is the Fit Life for Me podcast. For the past 10 years, I have been a fitness professional, or 10, what year is this, 2011? So I'd be modest and say 10 years. I mean, it's 20, not 2011, it's 2021. 10 years ago was 2011. Those are the 10 years. For at least the past 10 years, I have been a fitness professional, and that intertwined with my time as an educational professional, being a professional educator, has allowed me to develop a very special set of skills, like Buddy from Ransom. You know what I'm saying? That allows me to teach and to give people things that they are not able to get when they deal with other people, honestly. Like we say, we're not going to be modest with it. This is my second time around with it. So this podcast initially was going to be a fitness podcast, but I didn't feel like I can get funky with fitness and talking about working out and really dealing with helping people and stuff like that. So I went to my hobbies. I went to the things that I love as well. I went to hip hop. I went to sneakers. I went to talking about what's going on in the world and really doing that and watching it on video. I knew that those weren't the things that I was going to be able to reach people with, because those aren't the conversations that I have every day. If you know me, then the first thing that you probably came and said to me was like, man, I need to start working out with you, Goob, or you start telling me about what you was eating, or you start doing, I'm telling you, out of nowhere, there was a certain point where I went from being the sneaker dude and the dude that hoop to the fitness dude. And every time people ran into Goob, the fitness dude, they was telling me about their life and their habits, and it became a thing where I guess I need to start to make sure I have some answers for these people when they come to me with these questions, or they want to start telling me about what they're doing and what can be done. So to be modest, I am a fitness guru, or I am the fitness guru when it comes to being a personal fitness guru, meaning dealing with the people, dealing with training you and helping you develop a fitness lifestyle that works for you. That's what I do, because I follow principles and foundations that allow you to mold them and to build something that is detailed for you. Fit life for me. That is what this thing is. Not fit life for Goob, not do this, not do that. It is take what is effective and use it how you can use it for your benefit, to make this time here on this planet that we on, this third rock from the sun, and this carnal experience be as maximized as possible. Optimize this thing versus just living and dwelling in this thing. So we're going to get into 3 keys to success in order to build your fitness lifestyle. Once again, I am Young Goob the God. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to build a family in this thing. All right, I took some notes. Once again, this is the second time through technology. Hit the go live button, Goob. All right, the first key to building a successful fitness lifestyle is self-awareness. We all have to develop self-awareness in an effort to grow. Without it, you will be stagnant. Without it, you will continue to do the same things over and over and wonder why they're not working. Without them, you'll continue to behave in the same manner that produces fruit that is not edible for you. Or you won't produce anything at all. It'll be fruitless labor. Self-awareness allows you to begin to self-manage, which allows you to begin to self-develop. Self-awareness is what allows you to look at your situation and say, this is truly what I am, who I am, what I'm doing, who I am, where I am, why I am, how I am, what I am, on many different levels. It's not an attack on yourself. It's an honest talk with yourself. If being honest with yourself is attacking yourself, then that's a whole nother level that, you know what I'm saying, we could talk about over a glass of Ray, but I'm probably going to have you talk to a professional to really get into it. But self-awareness is the first and most, I would say, the most important element, principle, key when it comes to building your fitness life or your personal lifestyle when it comes to fitness, health, and wellness. Now, we're going to have to talk about what the difference between fitness, health, and wellness. My whole thing is using fitness to attack your health and to hopefully build your wellness. It's been proven that an increase in fitness that has a direct effect, not only obviously on your health, but also on your overall wellness, your being, your overall positive aspect or outlook on life. Seeing things in a positive manner with the ability to grow. But the first thing you have to do is become self-aware. You have to identify, I eat like garbage and I try to play like I don't. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to get a salad. But your salad is light green to white and they got a whole bunch of whatever on it. And it's once a month. And you act like eating a salad once a month is going to do it. We're going to talk about that. It's not going to work. You have to be self-aware. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be able to take an inventory of your behaviors and make an honest judgment and be like, yo, I'm doing this. Am I really doing that? But you have to have some standards to, I'm just banging stuff. You have to have some standards to compare them to or apply them to. And we're going to talk about standards. We're not going to get into it all tonight. Tonight is about those three keys, maybe a fourth. I might sneak a fourth. About these three keys to success. And the first one is self-awareness. Being true to yourself. You don't have to lie to yourself, even though many of us are and have been lying to ourselves. And ourself knows it. Like, it don't sit right with you. It don't feel right with you. But you do it anyway in an effort to try to change, like self is going to change. Self is self. It's going to express itself. It's going to express itself. So you need to become aware of it. How to make it grow. How to feed it. How to nurture it. How to restrain it when it get too far to the left or too far to the right. Keep it on point. Self-awareness leads to self-management, which leads to self-development. All right, step 2, or key number 2 is vulnerability. You have to be vulnerable. You have to allow yourself to go through something that you have chosen to go through. Now, don't just be vulnerable to anything. Just giving it to anything. I know that ain't the type of vulnerability we're talking about. We talk about vulnerability to something that you have found to be real. Something that you see to have substance that might get you some fruit based on from your labor. So vulnerability is a very important part of it. You have to allow yourself to go through the process in order to learn and experience something new. If you're going to put that hard shell on the outside, then these new experiences, it's going to be like the frozen wall. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be like in Game of Thrones at the wall. It's going to be hard to get on the other side. You're going to need real dragons to burn that thing down. So you know what a metaphorical dragon is for somebody who got a hard shield up when it comes to being honest and vulnerable about trying new stuff. Medical emergencies. The doctor done told you, well, it don't look good, boy. Diabetes on fire. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? And you done develop, you know what I'm saying? The doctor like, man, you know your body fat is at 50%. And if you're at 50%, we need to bring that down. Son, nobody's healthy at 50%. I don't care what you think you look good in your clothes at. I don't care. It ain't gonna ride. Told you, we not being humble on this joint right here. I am in my bag. Zero script needed. I need one to keep me on point. These other podcasts, I was trying to give you my hobbies. Here, I'm in my, so I let it rip. You have to allow yourself to be vulnerable so that you can see what's on the other side and determine whether it's for you or not. We're going to get into the fact that this thing is like being a scientist. Not like being a scientist. It is. You have to be your own scientist and conduct experiments on your life. You got to do you. That's what being a scientist is. And this thing is doing you and doing you with step number 3, which I'm going to get to, but I don't want to leave that vulnerability part. Many people put up a wall when it comes to really changing or making changes in their life, especially when it comes to their food and their activity. Like if you force them into it, they ain't gonna have much, you know what I'm saying, participation in it. They ain't gonna be very accepting of it. But if you give them an opportunity to participate in something based on their goals, based on them opening up and sharing with themselves first, and then with you, then you can help people develop a lifestyle that can help them manifest what they're looking for, regardless of the goals. But you first have to be vulnerable so that you can go through the process, so that you can find out what's on the other side. You can't act like if it ain't what you've been doing. Does that work? Then you ain't gonna do it. Or if I heard that my cousin did that, or oh no, I can't do that. That's for them type of people. I can't tell you how many times people been looking at me like, why you do that? So I can be this. Whatever you think this is so I can be this. This the product that I'm trying to get on the other side, and it still got work to do. It ain't gonna never be done. That's the whole thing about my product. Constantly changing, constantly moving. But I allowed myself to be vulnerable. So I'm gonna give you my vulnerable situation. When I first got into CrossFit, and when I first got into this type of activity that I'm doing, intensity, I saw this workout. I was like, oh, okay, you got to do this. I looked at the videos. I'm like, all right, I can do that. I saw the time that it was taking people. I'm like, all right, see what they doing it in. I'm gonna go for that. You know what I'm saying? See how I compare. I get into it. I'm going. It don't take long before I realize that it ain't gonna go down. Nothing like I thought it was gonna go down. But I allowed myself to go through this process. I could have been like, oh, nope, that ain't for me. No, not what I thought it was. Turn that thing off. We done. You ain't gonna bruise my ego. You ain't gonna show me that I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I got holes in my game. No. I allowed myself to go through it. And 45 minutes later, when I had to stop because I just was done, after people had finished in 18 minutes and 15 minutes, I believe, I was able to realize that it was something that I needed to do. I needed to change if I wanted to have a more optimal life experience here on this third rock from the sun and this carnal densified body that I got this melanin that looks so beautiful. Don't you agree? I want that thing to be live when I'm in it. So I decided to make some changes. But if I wasn't vulnerable and let myself go through it, then it wouldn't have happened. So step two, key number two, you got to be vulnerable. Number three, we're going to shout this out in the ray. Key to success number three is consistency. Now, these three keys and this third one especially could have been for anything. We could have been talking about whatever. But especially when we're talking about changing your life and making lifestyle changes, hopefully for the benefit that allows you to live an optimal experience in this densified body that's hewed up. You got to be consistent. You got to show up for yourself. You got to be consistent in your actions. Therefore, remember, being a scientist need data. Scientists need to have consistent data so that they can make a sound decision about whether their actions, aka their experiment, were successful or not, based on their hypothesis. But if you don't give consistent effort, then you're not going to get consistent data. Therefore, you're not going to get consistent product. And in this world, you get no product. Sporadic behavior gets you no product in this fitness world. It actually leaves you to be more frustrated than anything. Your ability to be consistent is it's like that engine that gets you there. You got to consistently get in the car. You got to consistently, well, one of my definitions of being consistent, or one of my barometers, is that you do it more days than you don't. It's 7 days in a week, so it's easy to get more than not. Do it more days than you don't. And do it with the intentions of being vulnerable, doing with the intentions of being consistent, doing with the intentions of being self-aware, so that you can get strong and get sexy. Honestly, that's what it's all about. You know what you want. You want to get strong. You want to get sexy. Strong look like whatever strong look like for you. Sexy look like whatever sexy look like for you. You want to get there. You're not going to get there without consistency, especially some level of consistency. A lower level of consistency will have a longer duration towards GS2. Getting strong, get sexy, GS2. Trademark, that's me. You have to. It's just obligation. It's just how the math work. Without it, you're struggling. Without it, you get frustration. Without it, you start to build up that wall that doesn't allow you to be vulnerable, which definitely reduces your ability to be self-aware, because you have less to gauge yourself with, less to go from, less experience to be aware of. You put yourself in a box, you're going to be aware of, say it with me, the box. You allow yourself to responsibly wander, inquire, research, grow, aka grow, because you're vulnerable to stuff. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go into this, but you know what I'm saying? I can't, you have to be wise about it. I ain't been like giving it all up. Just, nah, that ain't what we doing. We being wise about this thing. But regardless of that, you got to be consistent. I don't care what you're doing. I used to have this thing where I was like, oh, you're not CrossFitting, then it's not going to work for you. Trust me, I used to do that other stuff. Didn't work for me. I started to build back up that wall of vulnerability to allow myself to experience other stuff, or allow other people's experiences to broaden my horizons as a fitness professional. I saw that I was doing to myself as a fitness professional what I was trying to fight as a person, not putting myself in one particular box. I could be in any box that I want to be. Matter of fact, my box is the expanding universe. My box ain't got no walls. Take it how you want to take it, no. But because I am become self-aware and say that I need growth, I know that things that I know there are things that I don't know, and there are things that I don't know that I don't even know about, if that makes sense to you. There are things that you don't even know that you don't even know. So that awareness allows me to manage myself in an effort to develop myself, which we all got to do. And because of that, I was able to be vulnerable, open up myself to experiences, and being consistent, especially in this realm, specifically in this realm. It's the only way that your fruit is going to have, your labor is going to have any fruit. Without it, it's going to be fruitless labor. You're going to be mad, boy. Mad, I say. Totally upset. You're going to be like, I've been going to the gym. I done paid all these people all this money. And then when you look at it, you're going to be like, how many times you actually went in the past month? 6 times. How your body work? That ain't going to really do nothing, homie. Sorry to let you know what I'm saying? Your level of consistency was not up to par in order to change the mathematics that you were trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? You need to do a little bit more. You might want to come holler at the God, young Goob the God, your fitness guru. And that's who I am. That's really, at this point, I won't say who I am, but those are the conversations that I have every day. I know what I know, but I don't have the vocal. Oh, look at you, want to knock stuff down, Goob. I know what I know when it comes to music, but I haven't had those conversations every day. I know what I know when it comes to the game of basketball, but I don't have that conversation every day. I know what I know when it comes to conferences, but I don't have them conversations every day. The conversations that I have every day, fitness, health, and wellness, getting right. The experiences, the interactions with people every day for the past 10 years. Fitness, health, wellness. Getting my body right in order to get my mind right, which would in turn help my spirit get right. I'm groomed under the auspices of Dr. Sebi and CrossFit. I'm like the baby of Dr. Sebi and CrossFit when it comes to this thing. What's some more splashes of some couple more we're gonna talk about? But that's how I rock. I'm looking at the root cause of it, the cellular cause of it, for me, but express it to you in a vibe. We're gonna move in this way, and it's gonna cause your cells to react in an effort. I think, what we're gonna do? We are going to officially make Fit Life for Me nights. We're gonna put Ray and Nephew to the side for these nights. That's what we're gonna do, just for the Fit Life for Me. And we're gonna make them alkaline water nights. We're gonna pour up a glass of alkaline water. Always got it nearby. That's what we're gonna do on these Fit Life. We're gonna make them alkaline water nights. The other nights we still gonna throw it up from Ray and Nephew because it's a lifestyle, baby. When you understand variables and putting them into an equation, there's a certain product on the backside. If you know how to manipulate the variables, then you know how to manipulate the product. You got to understand that the work that you put in is going to get something on the backside. And you have to accept that. Awareness allows you to do it. Being vulnerable to the process to get that information allows you to do it. Being consistent allows you to see it over and over again. Where my music at, DJ? I'm young Goob the God. This is Fit Life for Me. Marleyminded podcast. Workout videos coming soon. I need to go ahead and start telling the people once again who I am. I've been getting into my other bags in an effort to expand myself. We testing the waters. We getting right. I'm young Goob the God. This is the Marleyminded podcast. And I got these hands going because it's right on to the real. Death to the fakers. Peace out. Yes, sir. Take two wings and fly. We out.